We're gonna finish this guy up tonight, and I actually added some eye motion to him, a little eye flutter there. Some of the poses I'm not crazy about. So let's see here. Kind of correct these a bit. Oops. I was thinking about going into Blender for the shout, or sorry, not the shout, for the last part, the last move we're gonna do. But I was like, well, you know what? I've gotten this far. It's all in Ikitsu. Might as well just kind of finish out here. I also retimed a bit of stuff today. You'll notice, like, I have that hand coming down, although it kind of hits a little too soon. Wait. It's weird. Oh, face is all the way over here. Okay. So that arm there, I'm going to fix up. I think it's on this one. Go to the curve editor and see here what's going on. Hello guys, how are you doing? Playing some different music tonight. This is from, I think, Sasha's Last Night on Earth radio show. If any of you are big Sasha fans out there. Not a fan necessarily, but I do love his stuff. So we'll be an exercise and see, like, if this whole entire stream gets muted. I don't think so, because I don't think his show is actually copyrighted. Like, some of the music might be, but we'll see. So I'm just kind of, I think that's kind of more what I want. Just want a little, like, pull through of the hand as he came in before he stopped. And I also sped things up a little bit too. Oh, I'm gonna redo my, I'm using my cycle maker here. Using my layers a bit more. Put those there, put the stacker down here. So I can get some, Put that there, there we go. We'll use the cycle maker. Might end up using it on some walk cycles to show you how it works. It's pretty cool. It's not a magic button, but it is a fairly cool. It's a fairly cool little deal. So let's see here. Okay, so I got some eye motion in here. And I'm actually going to probably separate out his face a bit more. Let's see here. Specifically, his jaw, tongue, and upper beak are all going to be extracted into a mouth layer. There goes my pen. Like maybe I'll switch to my pen. And then face is going to become his eyes. Actually, specifically his left eye. And then his right eye we're going to extract to another layer, call that IR. Okay, so that worked out good. Now, give myself some more room here. Time bar, we're gonna do 6 units. Okay. So then let's see, what are we going to do here? So now we're going to go to our eye, and I want to offset his blinks a bit. So he blinks here and then goes down there. So I'm going to take the right eye and just offset it by 1 frame. So we have like a little bit of offset like that, right? If any of you are familiar with Pixar's methodology for blinks. It's not a hard and fast rule, but it is like, it works, I feel. This is a little bit weird. Kind of want to maybe do something like that. Let's see here. And then we're going to probably do another set of eyes closed finally on move, so probably right about there. We'll do a keyframe, and this will have his eyes closed completely. I'm gonna actually go here, do that. And maybe do some angry blinks, eyes closed. You're not gonna see the end, so theoretically it feels a lot better. And let's see here, this little guy right here, I do a blink here too, so I'm gonna pull that out 1 frame, go 2 frames down. 2 down, 3 up typically is how you do it. 1 frame is a bit too much. I'm gonna do something crazy here. This is what's so awesome about this. I'm going to copy and flip. Is that what it is? Copy. Oh wait, hold on. I'm on the wrong key. Oh, I might not be able to do this. Oh, let's see here. Maybe I can. Paste, flip, paste, flip, paste, flip. I don't think I can do it. Guess it will only let me flip the values. It'll let me flip the values on the same layer, sadly. Well, that sucks. I guess I could theoretically just merge these 2 down. Since I got the offsets, see how that works. Let's see if I did copy, paste. Alright, that works. Don't really need to do much work on those eyes anyway, so. So the whole kind of, thanks man. The whole kind of thing I'm looking for is a like when you see a when you see like a light, you kind of blink your eyes really fast because it's like very distracting. So I guess we'll call that good. Next thing is the mouth. I'm gonna delete all these keys for the mouth, and There's upper beak. A little in a snarl. And maybe his tongue. I love his little tongue here. Move his tongue out. Have him kind of cross-jawed. And then do his extreme here, where we can grab him and really have him be pissed, right? So it comes out. And then when he comes down, we'll kind of close that dude down a bit. This one too. His tongue kind of out a little bit like that. And then I want to kind of do a moving hold right here, so we'll do a hold key. Same with this guy. So basically what I'm doing is when I'm doing this, I create a kind of a moving hold by holding close to this last frame, but maybe 1 or 2 frames ahead. And the idea is with the interpolation you get between these two, it gives you kind of like just an ever so slightly like moving, you know, distance between these two. So I can snap him out like he's screaming. And it kind of holds it, but it's not static. And actually, typically what I'll do is I'll even kind of drag the jaw a bit too. So, and as he comes back, I'm doing a little bit of that right here too. And because he has a tongue, kind of fling that guy up. Actually, for this guy, sorry about that, gonna probably do the same thing here, except here, kind of close his mouth a bit. And then it turns over here. I'm gonna have to kind of bring this stuff back. Stuff too. And kind of have more of like a hissing, because this guy definitely needs to kick up by the time he's down, because he's kind of resting right against his chin right here, so we'll kind of get the beak open in the manner that we need by kind of closing this guy a little bit early. Okay, like here. Oops. Oh, I did that. I'm used to keyframing in Motion Builder. I take auto key off because it just messes you up. I kind of want his mouth open because I don't think the and it's gonna work, but he's gonna be clipping through that hand towards the end, so what we're gonna do is go down to that hand R, play around with this final pose, kind of probably just by dropping that hand down a bit, that elbow, and I'll probably end up and go to my next key, split the difference there, feels good. They should be fine. Okay. Kind of comes back. Kind of want that jaw to kind of recoil back. Oop. That's no bueno. Man. Razor thin. I'm a stickler for penetration. Which means I'm probably like the worst person you want to have a lead on a team, because I'm like weight shift and penetration are the things I kill people on, and I'm sure they don't appreciate it half the time because I'm always like a little bit clipping. Some amounts okay in video games because you have shared skeletons, right? So you can't, it's kind of inevitable sometimes, but I also found out why my machine was running like garbage last night. And I apparently was both streaming and recording this, which was bad, so fix that. I kind of want this guy to... I was watching this, I kind of... I have this little jump here, and he just pivots. I kind of want him to kind of go up too. It's gonna be ugly because of the, because I have him on a curve, like I have the foot swing set up, but that's kind of what I like. There we go. Gives a little bit more bounce to it, a little bit more weight to the feet, so you can settle down. All right. Last but not least, I'm gonna look for some finger work that we can do here. So we're gonna go to our left hand here, and we're gonna break out these fingers into their own layer. So in case you see how I'm doing this, since Akitsu works off of a very much a pose by pose based system, it's a workflow that you can use anywhere. Like you can use it in Motion Builder or Max or Maya, wherever you want to go. Even Blender, you can do it this way. So the idea is that you start on your base layer, you get all your base poses blocked out, and then as you break down your poses and you start shifting things or tweaking things with like in-betweens, you break that part out into a layer, like an override layer, not an additive, just an override layer, right? Because it's going to follow the hierarchy, but it kind of keeps things clean and organized sometimes. So you have like good isolation on things, and you don't have to like worry about like, oh crap, I was just sliding keys around and then looking at your whole stuff and trying to figure out like figure out where you came from in the mess of things. That means like when I select all controllers like this too, like this works in Blender, Maya, Max, and I go into my graph editor, right? I'm not showing all my curves for everything here. I am only showing my curves for, exclude the camera target, but his root, hips, upper body, shoulder, and legs. And the legs are all IK, so there's really only like 2 nodes that I'm editing for the legs. Makes it a little bit more manageable. I'm going to save this and I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I were to do craziness, merge this all down, right? Now, when I select all, this is my curves. These are all my curves. These are insane, right? I want to do that. So I keep it all broken down like that, obviously, in the Kitsu, because you kind of have to, right? It's a necessary thing that you kind of need to do, which it can kind of be a pain in the butt sometimes, but for the most part, you get used to it, and you end up really kind of learning to kind of work with things, which is cool. So, anyway, so that's just kind of like a little tip for if you're animating and you kind of like get kind of confused by the one timeline and a bunch of crap in your view, and you can always kind of start with a layer and then kind of break it out piece by piece. So back to this guy, I'm going to break him into fingers L, and those fingers, I'm gonna I kind of want him to, not do that. I kind of want him to go, I think 2. Like, the cool thing about doing the fingers this way is if I accidentally select the hierarchy of the hands, I don't have a lot of problems. So the way it gets to is as well is there's a really cool hierarchy select tool, right? So what I'm doing is I'm just going through and adjusting one of the fingers, right? I want him to kind of be surprised. I'm spreading his hands out. But you can pick walk, and then what you can do is if you right click on a node, I'll show my bones here. Like if I were to right click on this finger appendage, it selects the chain. So in the hands, it selects the whole chain just by right clicking. And if you've ever done finger work in any other software, oh my god, it is a nightmare typically, right? Unless you have some really good selection tools. And then like if you have selection tools, you're like, cool, but maybe you don't set them up for every single project because you're doing something super quick. So this is just one of those nicer things that I really like dig about this software, is they kind of like make it a bit easier to do that kind of stuff. And then with like, the spinner sometimes can be really nice, right? Because you can like just really focus on your channels. So kind of, okay, show my other view up here. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of might keep this key, but I think I'm going to actually curl his hands a bit, like kind of like that. Curl his hands a bit, maybe these ones too. Bit tighter, so that he kind of clenches a fist, and then he opens up, right, in a surprised way. Kind of drags his fingers, and then right here, let's kind of open him up.
This is a set recorded at Nagai in Ibiza
Right
for the
here.
amazing Ethereal guys. It's great to work with those guys. Great that we're finally getting to put on some shows, albeit very small and seated at the moment. It was still good to play out to
Okay.
people and see some smiling faces.
It's kind of.
I mentioned last month that my first ever loser scorer.
So I'm kind of hyperextending this for a reason, but I might have gone a little too far on that.
Session for that album 2 days before. It would be great if you could join me on the 5th of
Let's see here.
There's
We're
2
gonna
time
open this up
slots.
a bit too.
Check that out for an exclusive first listen of the mixed version of the compilation.
Okay.
And I'll be on the video too.
So we'll go down, he drags, and then kind of opens up his fingers, and then comes back down. And I think I like those poses towards the end anyway.
Palace in London is back on finally, and it's going to take place on the 28th of
And
May.
for the other fingers on this side,
Socially distanced event.
I might not even break these out because I'm really just looking for
Head to my socials and click through on the link.
this pose to be a bit more open.
Of course, you can still
I kind of
order a
tried to
copy of the
do
album
this
on my
for a
Bandcamp
reason.
page, sasha.bandcamp.com.
So,
A couple of other dates for the diary.
oh Sasha, you talk so much.
Out there. First up is the 25th of June.
I used to talk a lot when I had my radio show too. Okay,
Then on to July.
pull his arms out, hands out, sorry. Fingers, fingers. So we're gonna pull him out a bit just like that. And then he should kind of, I kind of want to close it and then open it back up again. I want to make sure I have room though by the time he comes back. And actually that might help me out if I bend his fingers here. So I'm just going to do like a whole global kind of thing right here. Sorry about that. Don't want to lock the IK. So it's not the top, is it? Okay, so now he should come back up. And that's actually going to help me because I'll help miss that arm up here when he brings it up anyway. And then here, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of tweaking just like that, so we have some like kind of back motion. And then finally, with this guy, we're gonna go back to his hands here. And I know I said I liked the rest of it, but I really don't. Hey Daniel. I don't know if I've ever, oops, sorry about that. I don't think I've seen you here on the channel before. Maybe we have. I can't remember. If you are new, and you know about this character and the guy we're animating, cool. We're just doing animation in a program called Ikitsu, so very cheap, very simple 3D animation package. Okay, so let's go. Where are we? Fingers. Okay. So then coming back, when he pulls his hand back like that, I don't usually rotate off axis all fingers, but in this case I kind of want to do a little special case. Hopefully you're not using humanoid to put this in Unity. If you are, let me know, because humanoid is like the absolute worst when it comes to fingers. Like none of the finger poses come through because Unity is just sucky like that. It will in generic, but humanoid it doesn't do it well. So I'll kind of open it up, and then here, I think on these guys, I'll just kind of open up these two fingers and maybe get this guy to move back so that we get a bit of. Here, let's go to this view here and see how that looks. Kind of like these pose right here. Kind of want to potentially, let's see, let's keep his, not his hand, where are we, hand L, fingers, there we go. Let's keep that pose maybe for end, and then I'm gonna do again one of those moving holds that I talk about. There we go. That way it doesn't look so I still don't like the length of that. Let's see here, maybe we just do something like, I do something like this. Oh. There you go. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I need something down here. This is killing me here. So, down to our base, and since we have him moving into his motion, let's have him lean more. Oh man, that's right, I can't do that. To offset everything. That might work. There we go. And then in that whole vein, I can definitely do something like this. To actually move it. There you go. Alright, there we go. I'm kind of good with that. So currently we have our door slideways left. Oh, actually, I kind of want to do this. I totally forgot about the cool eyeballs. I love how we can. Let's see, this is left eye. I'm gonna have to do this on a layer, additive layer. But I have eyes. So let's do eyeballs. A new layer and call it add eyes. to here. And maybe to here to kind of establish it. We can flip these guys 180. That way you get him super pissed. And you get do some corrections here. I'm in here. Oh, these are the eyelids though. I didn't add those in. Oh, fiddlesticks. I think I can add those in after the fact, and it won't kill me too much. I think. Could be eating my words, but we'll see. Yeah, okay. So here. So coming here. Coming here. Key there. Okay, do that. Okay, there we go. And then what I want is when he comes down like that, actually I want these eyes to be super open. So something like that. So, on these eyeballs, should see him roll back. A little bit of white, and then he comes out just ever so slightly before he curls back in. And to make sure we don't have any shenanigans with these guys, we're gonna go into our curve board here, and we're gonna set all these to linear in addition to our eyelids. Since this is an additive layer, I don't want a lot of float with that, with those curves. I have everything on that base layer, so okay, cool. I think that's gonna wrap up that scare. The next one is gonna be our jump scare, and I didn't shoot reference for this. that's okay. Let's try. Let me use this idle as a starting point, so that I'm still gonna kind of remember we talked about. Oops, sorry about that. We talked about maybe having him like kind of curled into a little ball here. His arms kind of like this, right? Try to use all his like limbs in this position. So we'll kind of get him in this little ball here, and then he can like kind of come at you. His mouth kind of open. Obviously his arms totally be out here. Kind of lunge at you here. Take a step forward maybe so he gets super duper close to you. And then his other arm can come out. That's kind of the idea, is he'll kind of go from there and jump up and over, I think, too. So we'll do something like that, and spend some time right now just trying to kind of maybe get him curled into this ball. The idea I have with like keeping his pose the same like this is that if we don't have to make a transition, that would be cool, because we could, if I play it correctly, it might blend kind of okay from an idle down. If we need to make a transition, yeah, I have to do it, but might be able to save some work here. Oops. Okay. It's gonna have to definitely move back. Forward, I need to get that spine curved over. That's gonna be prove a little more difficult simply because, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. I also kind of like the idea of having him sort of like this. Remember, this is only like the starting frame anyway. So, and maybe kind of like having his hand like kind of like that, maybe. And this one we could totally have up here. Kind of move up here. And then probably kind of bend his knees out a bit. Ah, no problem, man. I moving on to the jump scare. So I talked about how I'm gonna try putting him in this little ball for his start pose. I'm gonna try and make it as kind of working with the pose, the existing pose as I can. Like, so like if it blends, you know, maybe it'll work as far as blending goes. But I don't know. We'll see. We need to create a transition. That's perfectly fine. But if we can save something by being smart about things, then all the better. So I'm going to kind of start him off in this pose so that he can like come jetting out at you, and he has a good like strong start pose to come out from. And maybe it makes him look a little kind of smaller, and you might miss him until he's right up on you. Hopefully that will help a bit. I don't want him to lean too much over. Might need to twist his body too. Something like that. Oops. Go back here and kind of push out his knee a bit. Might need to. I'm gonna have to move that. Might need to move it out a bit. Rig's gonna compress a lot, but we're not gonna really see it because the first frame is gonna be off. It's gonna be fairly invisible. Actually, don't need to do that since I have this pinned. I just pull up that shoulder there. And actually, I think what I'll do is I'll have his hands pretty flat. See how far we can get without having to bend those. Without having to bend the wrist too much. It's okay if we have to though. So I'm gonna do this thing where I'm actually gonna pose them in the extremes, get the spread that I need, and then adjust backwards. We shall see. Yep. So on this guy, I'm going to turn on this and then rotate out so we can lessen the tension on his hand. So kind of get. Oops. Don't want to do it on that. get away with just curling that thumb. Kind of like a knuckle drag almost. Kind of like what you see apes and stuff do that a lot. This is going a bit too far though. Gotta pull that back. That would be so cool. As long as I don't have to animate the drool. No, that would be really cool. Like, especially during the jump scare, because the idea I have for the jump scares when he comes out, obviously, right? He's gonna be shaking his head like a lot. There's gonna be a lot of overlap on his beak, and you could accentuate that with like all of the like slobber flying back and forth. And I know this is really difficult to do, but if you could get some somehow on the camera as a decal, you know, things I always liked about Call of Duty was like, even though it like looked kind of jank, it looked kind of silly. On the Modern Warfare 2, they started doing this whole thing where the blood splatter would go on your screen, and then it would kind of drip down and slide. I loved it. People always kind of laughed and said it felt like they threw jam on you, but I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. But that kind of stuff is always like, I love that. The thing is, I kind of want to get his like arm out a bit more so we have like a good kind of blackish silhouette. Janky blood is fine. I mean, it's not like, you know, I always think it just adds to everything. It's particles. It adds to the aestheticness of everything, right? So, any little bit of that is way cool. I like it. It makes things a little bit easier. I'm gonna get him up on his heels here because this is gonna be pretty quick. So I don't want to have to like lift his heel and then push down, because what you do is when you jump, right, you go up on the balls of your feet like that, and then you push back down so that you end up kind of flat-footed, and then as you spring, your body kind of pulls your feet up. And that's where the power comes from, is from the compression hitting the ground. And then the liftoff is actually, some people actually do the liftoff, like where they have like the liftoff part of the ball lift of the heel, and that's incorrect. You don't want to do that because the push off is actually happening when your heel is making contact with the ground, or if you're like super compressed, you're not really moving this pose too much, right? And then you're springing from the ball of your foot, right? But I've seen people like, you know, they'll flatten out the foot and then they'll drag it up, they'll pull it up first before he springs up. That's bad. Oh, I love 80s. Oh man. I love 80s simply because, I mean, I was born in the 80s. I love, obviously, Stranger Things. Super. My kids are watching that right now. Because they haven't seen it before. They're finally old enough to watch that stuff, although it's a little scary for my younger one, but he's more mature than his brother in some ways, so. But his brother loves it. wants to see it every day. We have
There's
to
a light
limit
at the
him
end of
to
the
like
tunnel.
one episode a
Long
day.
tunnel, but there's a light at the end of it. From me,
Yeah, I
sincerely,
did.
see you soon.
We're so happy. Although it's like slated for something like 2022. I'm like, no, oh my god. Season 4, yeah. Because last we saw Hopper, yeah. I won't ruin it for people who haven't seen it. I would hate that if you're just watching a random stream, never saw Stranger Things, or currently watching it, and then someone blurts out the ending for you. I'm sure that would just like really make your day. Okay. Okay, so let's see here. We're approaching an hour, so I think I'm pretty good with that kind of pose there for a starting point. What the hell? What is going on? Okay. I wonder if I have touch turned on. Yeah. Close his mouth up so we get a good, like... Star Wars, yeah. What? I'm a big Simpsons fan. Not so much anymore. I don't watch it anymore because it's just kind of been done. But I remember there was an episode where Homer walked out and screams, and the great line of people, "Ooh, who would have thought Darth Vader was Luke's father?" And everyone's all pissed at him. So they're waiting in the line for like all day. And my girlfriend at the time, way back when, was like, we were watching, she was big into Harry Potter, so we were watching the Harry Potter movies. And, I think we were discussing, like, the ending of the first one as we walked out. There's some jackass who was like, "Oh, thanks for ruining it for me." I'm like, really? Like, you're standing in line for the movie, and you're telling me you never read the book. If you're standing in line for a Harry Potter movie, pretty much you are, you know the ending already. It's not like they're gonna frickin' change it, because, it doesn't work that way. But, move his arm back just a tad there. Thanks, man. Alright. That's what we'll start next time. Yeah, part 1. Yeah, it was like what the Chamber Secrets or whatever the hell it was called. It was just like, Jesus, man. The book's been out. Not only has the book been out for like how long, but yeah. It's true. Yeah. Well, my thing was like, I get it if you're like, you're walking into the theater like 2 weeks later and you're like watching the movie, but if you're standing in line for it, it's not like Star Wars, right? Yeah, it's like, it's kind of, it's not niche, but it was popular, but it was popular as a book. So like, the reason why you're standing in line is because you read the book and you want to see the movie. Otherwise, you're seeing it like, 2 weeks later, right? When it's not so crowded. Okay. Alright, guys. Stop noodling with this. So, I will do my best to be on maybe tomorrow if I can. I've got a lot of other stuff piling up, so I'm going to have to probably take a break for a night, do that. But I'll get back to it and start working on this jump scare. I might actually probably do some... I think I might do some... I'll try and do some reference for it. see if I can get something out. I don't really know. It's gonna be kind of hard because it's gonna be a lot of like fast-moving trickery stuff that I can't really act out naturally. But maybe I'll do it like at half speed or something and speed it up and see if that works. Could be a lot of like, this will be a good one. You'll get to see a lot of like 1 and 2 frame transitions. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of noodling on like 2s, which will be like kind of crazy. So you'll get to see like the tracking arcs over like, however many frames, all while something's like moving and overlaps as a result of that. Pull out all the stops for it. And if we just can't get the the piece to work in the end, I'll kick it over to Blender and maybe add some noise and shake to it to kind of supplement. So, alright guys, have a good night, and I will see you later.